You know what's interesting? Your cat doesn't treat everyone the same way. There are certain behaviors they reserve exclusively for the people who mean the most to them. If your feline friend has displayed even one of these particular actions around you, congratulations, because you've earned a spot in their most trusted inner circle. While cats might appear distant and enigmatic on the surface, they actually communicate their affection through very deliberate gestures. Right now, we're going to explore 5 distinct behaviors that cats perform only for the humans they genuinely adore. Make sure you stay until the end because that final one is something many cat owners completely overlook, yet it carries tremendous significance. Before we jump in, show some love by hitting that like button if you want to discover more fascinating insights about our feline companions every single week, and don't forget to subscribe so you'll always catch videos that will deepen your understanding of your cat's mysterious world. Let's talk about something that might initially strike you as peculiar. Picture this scenario: your cat settles down right in your vicinity, but instead of facing you, they deliberately position themselves with their backside pointed directly at you. Now, if this happened during a conversation with another person, you'd probably interpret it as the ultimate sign of disrespect or disinterest. However, in the complex social structure of cats, this gesture carries the complete opposite meaning. When living in their natural environment, felines remain constantly vigilant about potential threats. Their posterior represents their most exposed and defenseless area, making it virtually impossible to react swiftly if danger approaches from that direction. Therefore, when your cat consciously chooses to present their back to you while relaxing completely, they're communicating something profound. This behavior translates to an unspoken declaration of absolute faith in your character. They're essentially performing the equivalent of those corporate team-building exercises where people fall backward, trusting others to catch them. Your cat is displaying their most vulnerable position because they possess complete certainty that you would never cause them harm. The next time you find yourself staring at that fluffy posterior, resist any urge to feel slighted. Instead, recognize it for what it truly represents, a silent testament to the incredible bond you've established. Here's another fascinating behavior you've probably encountered. You're making your way across your home, perhaps heading toward the refrigerator for a late-night snack, when suddenly your cat launches themselves directly into your walking path, sprawling across the floor like some kind of adorable roadblock. What could possibly motivate this dramatic performance? Are they rehearsing for some feline theatrical production? Perhaps training for competitive athletics? The reality is far more endearing. This calculated obstruction serves as their method of commanding your immediate attention and interaction. What makes this particularly meaningful is the selectivity involved. Your cat wouldn't bother executing this maneuver for just anyone who walked by. If they felt indifferent toward you, they'd simply observe you passing without making any attempt at intervention. But by physically inserting themselves between you and your destination, they're essentially communicating a clear message: your journey is temporarily suspended until they receive the acknowledgement and affection they're requesting. Sometimes they're seeking physical cuddles, other times they want interactive play, and occasionally they simply desire your proximity and focus. Regardless of the specific motivation, this behavior consistently indicates that they genuinely value and cherish your company. It might occasionally test your patience, but it simultaneously represents one of the most flattering compliments your cat can offer. Now, this next behavior might initially sound like something you'd want to discourage, and I completely understand that reaction. You've probably spent countless hours redirecting your cat away from your furniture, repeatedly insisting that the sofa is off-limits for their clawing activities. However, there's a deeper significance behind this action that most people completely misunderstand. When your cat deliberately scratches objects while you're watching, their primary motivation isn't property destruction or defiance of your rules. Instead, they're engaging in a territorial marking ritual that involves you intimately. The paw pads of cats contain specialized scent-producing glands that activate during scratching sessions. Each scratching episode deposits both visible claw marks and invisible chemical signatures that broadcast ownership information to any other animals in the vicinity. This behavior essentially announces to the world that this particular space, and by extension the human occupying it, belongs to them. Since scratching you directly would obviously cause pain and damage your relationship, they instead target the objects closest to your presence. Think of it as their method of planting their personal flag, declaring to anyone paying attention that you fall under their protection and companionship. Naturally, you should absolutely provide appropriate scratching surfaces to protect your belongings from resembling abstract artwork, but when this behavior occurs in your immediate presence, try moderating your frustration. From their perspective, they're essentially creating declarations of affection and belonging. Have you ever become aware that your cat seems to accompany you throughout your entire daily routine? You head to the bathroom, and they materialize beside you. You move into the kitchen, and they're already positioned nearby. You settle into your workspace, and sure enough, they've followed along for that journey too. This constant shadowing behavior carries significant weight in feline communication. Cats evolved as fundamentally independent creatures who don't typically attach themselves to others without compelling reasons. When they choose to track your movements from one room to another, especially during times that have nothing to do with their feeding schedule, it reveals something important about their emotional attachment. They're not following because they need something tangible from you. There's no hidden agenda or manipulation involved. They simply find genuine comfort and satisfaction in maintaining physical proximity to you. Animal behavior specialists have coined a term for this phenomenon, referring to it as ambient affection. It represents their way of expressing a sentiment that roughly translates to finding contentment in merely sharing space with you, without requiring interaction or activity. When you really think about it, that might constitute one of the most sincere forms of appreciation any cat can demonstrate.